Welcome, everybody, to the Journeymen Lounge podcast.
You better be praying to God because, you're 14 and losses in a row. You're going to need Jesus.
Am I wrong?
I thought you were pretty wrong, yeah. And welcome back to the Journeymen Lounge podcast, episode 109, part 2. We will be talking about the feature film Alien from 1979, directed by Ridley Scott. My choice. Now, technically, we already did all our spooky season movies, but this is going to be an extra bonus part of it. I would have done it anyway, regardless. But
Fair enough.
Just seemed like a good time to do it. So then I can also at some point do Aliens.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, Woj.
I was actually in your mind right there. I believe you said before that Aliens is one of your favorite, right?
Both these are.
Both these are.
Aliens.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
would you put one above the other?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm curious.
Because I would. I would
probably put Aliens above
this
Alien,
one, yeah.
but I think it depends on what you're. I think Aliens is an easier watch and a rewatch because there's more action and comedy and characters and things going on, while still having an awesome plot relating back to the first movie and the mythology and everything. It works, it makes sense, and expands on that. And James Cameron's a fantastic director. This movie, though, however, while it is slower and more simple, works so well. And like, this movie does a better job of setting the atmosphere and like the score and just like the like building it up, and I think once you watch
a great foundation.
I think once you watch Aliens and you go back to watch this, it kind of like it's like kind of like, oh wow, they only had one and they had all these ones on the other one, like. But you got to think like they have no weapons, they're not soldiers,
right.
But it doesn't kill it. It just it
deters them.
Deters it. Yes. But like, I think both are awesome. It just depends on what you like. Do you want more of a horror, like Jaws in space, isolated area where there's no escape, you can't go anywhere, and you're trapped on the ship with this monster and the paranoia, and you don't know where it is? And the other one's more of like, you have that, but it's multiplied because there's so many of them. However, you also do have a way to defend yourself somewhat, although it's still an uphill battle, obviously, in
right.
Aliens. I think both are awesome. I honestly flip-flop a lot. Like, I'd probably say Aliens, but I wouldn't, if you said Alien, I wouldn't be like, oh, no, you're crazy. I'd be like, dude, I could see it either way. Like, kind of depends on my mood and, like, So I love like about Alien, like the score and like the real, the computers and the technology and like everything has like, it feels real and lived in, and like they do a really good job of
lived in. You're right.
Setting it up where it like kind of builds up, or whatever.
Great foundation for this movie, as well as like just establishing, like I said, that thrill, that best way is, what is that? Like almost momentum until like the alien or xenomorph becomes, known, and by then, you're already blown away. So yeah, incredible sequence. I'm on Ridley Scott's schnutz though, so
I love Ridley Scott. Yeah,
so I am. I
All
know.
right, this is you want a synopsis?
Yeah, I got it. It says it came out in '79, directed by Ridley Scott, and it follows the commercial starship crew from the Nostromo. And they investigate a derelict space vessel.
Nice word.
What's that? That's what they use that words for the descriptions.
There we are.
So I can't take credit for it, but yeah. That's,
the audience wouldn't have known that.
Well, I'm being honest. It's okay.
Transparency here.
It's called honest.
So basically,
honest
they're like essentially like space truckers. Is like in space, like they're like they carry cargo back and forth, and they're in cryostasis. So, like, their journey's too long for them to be awake, so they're asleep in this frozen thing, whatever, and it wakes them up when they get close enough to their destination.
Skeleton crew as well. Just
so then,
7 guys, right?
7 people. So the ship, the computer known as Mother, of the Nostromo, gets a distress. It's a signal of sorts from a derelict spacecraft. So there's a rule, I guess, from the company says anytime that the ship receives a call, you have to investigate the site.
Can I also just point out the job that they are on in this type of universe this is a universal corporation. So like this is operating as like a Walmart of like you are employed by them. They basically like own you. You are going on this thing, and like you get massive sums of money for completing this. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. It's obviously in the future, so it's like 21. I think it's. Oh, I got the date actually. It is. Alien
year
takes
did they
place
land in?
in 2122.
Very cool. So about less than 100 years from now.
So yeah, so they get a signal to go check it out. They go down on the planet. Three of the people, I'll break down the characters more specifically, but Dallas, Kane, and Lambert go to check out the derelict spacecraft, and it's like really windy, and the atmosphere is really fucking messed up and shit. And anyway, they find this spacecraft. It's this huge spacecraft, like empty, but has this weird shit on the walls, like it's coated in something. It's like this just giant. Like it's for like giant beings almost, like this spaceship, and they did a cool. I'll explain what they did to make that look like that later. But they find like this one guy and this giant being in the middle of the room, and something looks like it had burst from his chest, and then there's a burnt out part of the floor, and the one guy Kane goes in there to investigate, and it's a whole thing of eggs.
Yes,
and then he falls down there, and he makes the mistake of putting his face over the egg opens, he puts his face over it, and the face hugger attaches himself to it, and then brings him back on. And do you want to keep like going, or like
no, you're
I don't
good,
know how much you want me
like,
to?
not too
No,
much
I would
detail,
just
but
say
kind of-
like
now there's a
the-
confrontation, or
Yeah, I would say the alien life form has
Makes
now
its way.
made their way into the ship.
Yeah.
And then from there, we can obviously expand through the scenes.
Yeah, they bring,
but like then obviously you have an alien.
the crew is compromised now that they brought
Yes.
Kane back with this thing attached to him, and eventually it becomes its own being and is loose on the ship.
Yeah.
And it's basically like it was pitched as like Jaws in space, where it's like people are getting picked off one by one, and you don't know where it is. It's like the whole sense of the way they film it, paranoia, and like, is it there, is it not? And you don't know really also like when it attacks you, you don't know what it does with you. You just vanish.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really kill you necessarily. It'll wound you, and it might kill you, but it might not. It might take you, and like that kind of adds to the mystery as well. Like, where are these people disappearing to?
And the alien that is started in the facehugger is basically a breeding
parasite
to implant like their
yes,
embryo, egg, or whatever inside.
The facehugger wraps itself around your body, and it like shoves a little like a
Around
tube
your
down
neck,
your
yeah.
throat, and it has another tail around your throat. So it's feeding you oxygen and everything you need. And we'll get in, there's a scene that goes specifically with it, but if you try and take it off, it'll defend itself and it'll kill the host
Yeah.
that it's hosting. But
And the alien, once it is born from the
xenomorph.
thank you, it grows at an exponential rate. So
Yes, it starts off very tiny, and then it sheds its skin and becomes its full form very quickly, and it has acidic blood and
fucks people up.
It's a hunter basically, and
Yep.
it's smart and
Gotcha.
You know what? I want to pause real quick because I think in all of our viewers, even old, young, new, that this the poster for this or the
iconic.
is iconic. You have that, and then in space, no one could hear you scream. Right? Isn't
The
that
tagline? Yeah.
That's the tagline, and I think that alone,
That's cool.
that's it. That sells this movie.
Yeah.
It really did too.
For sure. I would also just add in, just kind of in the same vein of that, like it's Columbia, I think, is a production company.
Yeah, I think so.
20th Century Fox.
20th Century Fox. I'm
Oh.
sorry. 20th Century Fox has that old ass logo though. Like you can tell that it's from the 70s, kind of the initial one. I do like that feel of the movie as well. Just wanted to point that out.
Absolutely. It
Make
was
sure you post an image of the.
I do.
Yeah, good.
a budget of anywhere, it says from 8.4 to 14 million, and grossed 188 million. So it was very successful. Obviously, this came out
It's in the late 70s.
during the boom of like space stuff after Star Wars. Studios were looking for anything with space related, and this is one of the ones that was on their desk. Thankfully, I said Ridley Scott directed. I think it's like his second movie he directed. I want to say it's like his
Okay.
It's one of his first.
one of his big breakouts.
Yeah.
He had like
Sure.
the Duelist before this, and then this one.
Gotcha.
And they kind of put him on the map, I would say. And then
Yeah.
we'll talk more specifically about it later. But the fantastic score by Jerry Goldsmith,
Yeah, we'll get into that.
just awesome, great.
Alright.
What's so?
Experience?
Experience of the movie. Have you guys? I'm assuming you both have seen. I know
Yes.
Bobby has. You've seen it.
Plenty
Wally?
of times.
Plenty of time.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Alien franchise has been around for so long that I've seen just multiple iterations of it. Definitely haven't seen the last couple things.
I know
but
you have, though.
I think my main kind of like go-betweens between these were like the first 3 or 4, probably first 3, and then I mean, we'll talk about it in the sequels and prequels and spinoffs, but like the Alien versus Predator, I remember seeing that one in the theater, and I was like, it kind of got me back into it because for a while I had not been. That came out maybe like 2007, 10, something like that.
4.
What was
Okay,
the most recent
2004.
one? Was that the
one that just came Alien Romulus.
Romulus? Yep.
But,
okay.
But like I said, my experience was like I was definitely down with the early ones, then kind of faded interest, got back a little bit. But like I just enjoy the villain. Like that is a great Alien depiction of like, hey, this is gonna fuck you up type of deal. So almost kind of fits in the horror type of genre, but like more, I would say like action.
This movie is a horror movie, I think, for sure.
You think it's a horror for sure?
Oh, it's sci-fi horror, 100%.
Sci-fi horror, okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that label.
I think that Aliens leans more into the action, but it still has horror in it as well, but leans a little more into the action. But this one is more of a
It's foreboding.
Okay.
pure. I mean, it's like, again, like it's not like. I mean, it kind of is like almost like it's like a
tense.
Michael Myers, a Jaws. Like
Yeah.
it's just in the form of an alien being. You know,
Uh-huh.
it's killing you.
Sure.
You're scared. Like you are. Like, you know, the whole point of the movie is to be scared and terrified, and
Okay.
it does lean to the thriller thing as well. Though,
Okay,
of
maybe
course.
that's what I was picking up on.
And I know we're going to my experience with this. So I've seen this movie a bunch of times, and 2 things I want to point out as a Disney fan. They had this at Magic Kingdom. They had an attraction that essentially was where they, morphed in a xenomorph into a, call it a theater style, but, semicircle theater, and lights go off. You hear shatter. It's out of its containment. You hear the water on the back of your neck, that hissing, and it was only around. It was called Alien Encounter. It was around for, I want to say, only 5 to 6 years because we're at Magic Kingdom, so there's children that go to Magic Kingdom, and parents maybe weren't aware of how intense it was for this experience. And, the kids are crying, they're freaking out. Understandable, but Alien Encounter, but then flipping over, which I call MGM Studios, which is now Hollywood Studios for all of our Disney fans. They had the Great American Movie Ride. And part of that, since MGM was partnering with Disney at that time with Eisner, they were able to have an alien scene within that movie ride. So you saw
cool.
the xenomorph pop through the grating, and you have Sigourney Weaver up against the wall. Cool. So there, if you get a chance, I'm going to send both you guys a clip of that because I really think you'd enjoy the experience. I'll send you the video of Alien Encounter and the Great American Movie Ride. So.
Nice.
I loved it.
Right.
So this is great movie.
Yeah, I didn't get into this till like later. Like I had
Shocker.
like you, I had seen
Right?
I had seen AVP,
Feed the
the 2004 one, and I thought it was all right. But like I didn't have any history or knowledge of the mythology of any of those characters. I just happened to be a movie I just went to go see.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't, like I said, I wasn't into horror till like about 12, 13 years ago. And then I started like, oh, I should. There are movies like I want to watch now. I want to watch Alien. I want to watch Aliens, and checked it out, and it's instant classic. Just one of the all timers. Love it. It's I love the franchise, even though obviously they're like the first 2 are like immaculate, and after that it's depending on it's more of a mixed bag maybe. Some good, some better than others, some not so good. Kind of similar to Terminator, honestly, in that regard, where it's like the first 2 amazing.
I mean, it's such a long franchise now, though, that you're going to have duds in there.
I would say, though, I think the Alien franchise does a better job than the Terminator franchise of having overall better movies that I would rather watch than the Terminator sequels, where they're not as repetitive. I mean, there are similar elements in certain ones, like which I got to talk about more later in the prequel sequel
let's
stuff.
get to...
But awesome classic horror movie, just an all timer. Great, like. Again, the practical effects and just the score, everything works, the atmosphere so well.
All right, let's get into scenes.
Sure, yeah. Let's do it. I wanted to start with the icon. I just like the title card sequence, like the letters. slowly putting one part at a time. Like it spells out alien, and
Kind of
then
got
That intro scene, goes hard.
with the score going, and then leading into like the awesome POV shot or of like the camera panning through the entire space station.
that's one of
going
my favorites,
down
yeah.
each hallway, and then it opens up to the message from Mother that reflects on the helmet. It says like the distress signal, and then we see the crew like waking up from the pods. I think it looks very like, I know it's obviously made in '79, and you can tell, but for being '79, looks so good. Like it's like it looks better than like shit that honestly comes out now. It's like, damn, because this is like a real set, like a real thing. It's
almost like they borrowed from 2001: A Space
they
Odyssey.
did a little bit actually about it.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
I had said that it has inspired many things.
Sure.
But it's like, it's just like, it's so awesome to see. That really, I think, like sets up like this movie, like how is the feel of it or whatever.
I love it. No, like I said, I think there's a lot of foreboding. It's tense. It's gritty, but this like almost ominous presence even begins before they ever go to that distress. Like something, you could feel like the mood has shifted. There's a change in
I think
the overall aura.
They do a good job too of like making the characters feel real. Like the breakfast scene, like this is their job. They wake up every day and they just shoot the shit, and like
I like that. I enjoy that.
and like for most of this movie until like the last quarter, I don't know, third, like there's not a main character. You don't know who it is. It could be anybody. It could be Dallas. It could be Parker. It could be. It's not until they're all taken out, and then Ripley's or whatever. But
Sigourney's,
I think that they did a good job of like, even though they took their time, like you said, to get to the stuff, like the building in the first like 45 minutes it's worth it. I think.
I absolutely agree. I would say the long panning shots of the ship, and then even the interior of the ship, I definitely I enjoy. It's kind of like a staple of a lot of space movies that I definitely enjoy those shots. Some of the technology shots and like the things warming up and all this stuff and the interaction with Mother. I like some of those shots. I'll get into picking this about some of those. But like in terms of like, again, I know it's like cinematic and whatever, but the large ship with this like, again, large beings, and they're discovering that, and they're kind of like dumbfounded of like, what the fuck are we looking at? And then this, and then right as that like kind of leads into like, now we're with the alien in the ship, in the med bay. Everybody's got a thought like, well, this
Everyone's
is what we
starting
need
to
to
freak
do,
out,
and there's a fucking thing in the guy's face, and now you're like, panic starting to set in a little bit. Like, what the fuck is happening?
I think there's a cool thing too that you don't notice the first time watching it, but rewatching it now that you know about Ash, and that he is the synthetic, the android, that the way he acts doesn't seem quite right. Like in the beginning, he kind of does, and you can see he's like playing a part, but then they get the signal, and then he knows what he has to do.
He's disposable in terms.
Like he knows the crew's disposable,
So,
and
can you also explain what a synthetic is?
So it's an android. So it's like if you've seen like Westworld or even I guess Terminator technically is too, like a more advanced one, but like it's a robot or a machine that looks human that can like be a human if you didn't know any better. Like, if you like, so we don't know as an audience, or they don't know as the crew, that Ash is an android.
Right.
They say in the movie, oh, what happened to the guy you ran the other 5 missions with? He's like, oh, I don't know. He got called away. They brought Ash on the last second.
Right.
So, something obviously seems up with that. But then once the starts going off, like,
little things,
for example, there are things that when you're watching it the first time, you're like, oh, well, that's an innocent thing, or oh, maybe he just thinks this way because of what else. But when you rewatch it, it's like, no, he's doing it because he knows the mission is, I need to get the embryo, the alien on board no matter what. Like Ripley's like, they come back after Kane gets the face hugger. They're like, let us in. And Ripley's like, I can't break protocol. Like, you're going to we're going to be all infected if you do
the
this.
Needs of the many outweigh
and
the
Ash
needs
just
of the
opens
few.
up the door and lets
Right
him
away.
in completely, and then also like when they're in the med bay stuff, he's so like, like weirdly into the alien, like more than everyone else, and like
Right.
wanting to preserve it and all these things. And then like we're gonna get into the famous chest burster scene, but at that dinner, you notice before when when they're all eating, he's like not really eating. He's like keeping an eye on Kane, like looking to see when it's gonna happen, or he knows like something's gonna. He subtle looks throughout the movie and tendencies.
I think they're casting some doubt and kind of giving you some indication of like there's something here for sure. And these again little ticks and like he does one thing with his arms or so kind of like a weird thing where I was like, oh, that's weird, but like I'm picking up on it enough.
Yeah.
I would also go with excuse me. The I guess what follows logically from that?
Well, I would say let's do
scene?
anything before the chest burster scene.
Can we also say the panoramic scene of just seeing all the eggs across strewn across the floor?
I did have that in cinematic shots. Bobby.
Oh my god! Like no, I think like
I kind of already blew my load on.
It's got the blue light just over it and like
that translucent light. And it's just like and
like,
we stepped ourselves into a bad pumpkin patch here, and shit's about to get real.
Then when they go in the engineer room. They're called the Engineer now from the prequels. Yeah. The giant being and cool way they shot that to make the thing look so big.
I love the practical effects.
They used their kids and they put them in spacesuits, so it looks like the ship is huge, but the kids are small. So the perspective is.
I like that
perspective. That's cool. Incredible.
Yeah, and then obviously throughout other shots they would use like miniatures,
a lot of
map paintings, but it looks so good. Like I think.
Well, you can add so much detail with miniatures.
It just looks real. Like you're like, wow, like I believe this is a spaceship they're in right now.
I hope they move back towards some of that. I guess call it art. Essentially art in movie making.
And back to what Bobby's talking about, that scene where Kane. So they go in the spaceship and then Kane goes down to the basement. There's just like an entire ship of just eggs on top of eggs on top of eggs. Like, can you just like, and which obviously sets up aliens later, but like, holy crap! Like, if all those things,
an alien rate, like
like that is nuts and just like terrifying to think about.
Right, exactly. And then from that point forward, you're like, oh shit.
And also the way, again, we're talking about a lot about it, but the practical effects of the egg opening up, it looks so sick.
Yeah, why don't we just do cinematic shots as we're on?
Oh, we can do that. I mean,
I'm just in talking about it, like I kind of blew my load with the panoramic shot, like of the ship and stuff like that.
Sure.
Like I'm kind of out on it, and it seems like you got some more to point out.
For cinematic shots or just?
I would say cinematic shots. Yes.
Mine would be the maybe this is late. The xenomorph punching through the grating within the ship itself, and then you finally see this head come out, and that
the head with the second mouth.
The secondary mouth.
I'll give that
slimy
one.
As hell.
When it's hiding in the escape pod at the end.
No, I'm saying as it's making its way through the ship, where you have Sigourney, right, and then it hits through that grating or the ventilation, and then you see this head and the little mini mouth comes out, and you saw the slime and the goo. Like you can almost feel that scene. That's what I'm saying. What a great shot.
Besides the two I already mentioned for cinematic shots, also there's just a scene I love. Probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie in general. The whole Dallas in the vent scene. With the xenomorph, it's intense. Like they're having the motion detector telling him which way to go, where it's at, and he doesn't know. And then all of a sudden, it's like it's right next to you. Yeah. Get out of there! Get out of there! And he goes down a level, and then you can see it, the flame behind it, like kind of light it up for a second if you look for it. But then like he turns around, just like and the thing is just like, oh fuck, he's dead.
The fight sequence,
all the different POV shots. Particularly the one toward the end with Ripley running. She's running to go get Parker and Lambert after they've been killed by the xenomorph. And it's like a frantic camera, and the sirens are going off, and the smoke, and it's like orange light, and it's dark.
As a moviegoer, you're now in that moment.
Right,
like
you're
holy
feeling
shit,
the paranoia and the distress. When the ship's in self-destruct mode and Ripley's climbing up the ladder next to the deck, it zooms in on her hand as she crawls up, and then it zooms in on her eyes, and like you can see like in her eyes like the fear and the again all the flashing lights and the sirens and the smoke going on in the background. And then same thing when she's running back to get to the escape pod, like with the flamethrower, like all the just again the chaos and the way it looks. And
I like that they did a third person view, almost like a profile view of her in the loader for the equipment. and then you have the like xenomorph, in full like stance. So basically a showdown, and they had that as a profile view.
You're thinking of Aliens? The loader's an alien.
Then I'm thinking of fuck. You're right. I am.
Yeah, we watched Alien, Bobby.
I am combining the two.
I was like, that's an awesome scene, but that's an alien.
That's an aliens. No,
Yeah.
I messed up completely.
I would also just
I'm
do
bleeding the lines.
maybe one more cinematic shot is like
You're right.
the acid blood as it's
yeah.
kind of going down like
down the corridor, or each deck or whatever.
each deck, and then also kind of like again like the use of whatever they use to like kind of create that effect of like it looking like the material dripping. I like that. It just like
puts the pen and it like burns it at the top of
Right,
it off
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
I'll give that one. Any last ones?
No, I hate myself
cinematic.
a
There's
little
so
bit.
many, but no, I'm good. Like I think
Okay.
I also like again just seeing the ships, the way they film from the outside, it looks pretty good. Like looks like massive, like when the Nostromo and all that shit.
It looks like it.
It reminds me of like Star Wars, how they did it a few years prior, where they like show the massiveness of the Empire ship compared to like the little Rebel ship or whatever. But if we're like just doing scenes again, if we're going anything before the face hugger,
I'm good before.
I'm good
up
with that.
to the
chest burster.
Chest burster.
Yeah, I think I'm just jot them real quick here.
Go ahead.
We already did the ship where they went in there. We already did this again. We talked about the safety protocol thing with Ripley not wanting to get it. She's the one this whole movie who's been trying to do the right thing, and everyone else is breaking protocol and things. Dallas and Ash perform the medical examination on Kane to try and remove the face hugger, and they realize quickly that it defends itself, so they'll try and like pull it off, and then the tail around his neck tightens. And they try and when that's right before Woj said the blood going to the floor, they try and burn it off with this little laser, and the acid blood comes out. So it like has many defense mechanisms to let you not fuck with it. And it's kind of our first look at the genealogy, whatever, I don't know how you say biology or genealogy or whatever.
Genealogy is the study of
I don't know.
It's biology.
The biology of the face hugger / alien, and like the way it looks and shit is really cool. Like you said, the acid thing.
I think we're to the chest burst.
Yeah, chest.
Right, it happens right after the med bay.
Right.
There's one more before where the face hugger has detached itself off of Kane. They're looking for it in the med bay, and it falls on Ripley, and you think it's like alive for a second, but it's just the dead thing of it, and then you get to see the insides of it, and like it looks pretty damn cool, I think.
I like how Rick and Morty rip off on this a little bit. There's a parody episode. If you guys watch Rick and Morty, there's a fun one for space huggers.
Face huggers.
Yeah, what did I say? Space
Space
huggers.
huggers.
I'm all over the place. You know what? I'm going to just maybe step outside, gather myself.
We're at the famous chest burster scene.
Let's
do it.
So, famous chest burster scene. This is the most famous scene of the movie. Kane awakens finally.
Yep.
Seems like he's okay. Mm-hmm. He has no memory of what happened. All he remembers is a smothering, he says, a choking or a smothering. Mm-hmm. He has like a sore throat, but he seems fine other than that. So they're all at dinner. They're eating. And I said, if you watch Ash in this scene, you can tell he's like looking
intently.
How am I going to get this alien? What's going to happen? How's this going to play out? Like you can see he's got some weird stuff. Anyway, they're talking, and all of a sudden Kane starts choking and having convulsions, and like they have to hold him down, and the whole crew's holding him down basically, and then blood just bursts out of his chest, and then they're like, "What the fuck?" And then more blood comes out, and this little alien comes out, and little xenomorph or whatever, little baby xenomorph, and Parker wants to stab it with the knife, and Ash's like, don't kill it, or whatever, and it just like runs away like super fast, speeds off into the vent, into hiding. And a little fact about this scene, now they knew that the chest burster thing was going to happen, but they didn't expect it to be the way it was. So all the actors' reactions are genuine and fearful.
Oh, okay.
So they didn't know that all that blood was going to come out like as it did, like burst out like that. So it got on Veronica Cartwright, who plays Lambert, and she like fell to the floor and is like freaked out. And that's the only take they did because it was so good. Like,
I mean, genuine.
I like
fear,
those. Yeah. Wow, that's a good factoid. There it is.
But, I don't know. That scene is just epic. Anything and now we're after the chest burster scene.
I mean the hunting. I mean, I'm going a little bit further, but I guess maybe I mentioned before that the discovering that Ash is a synthetic is definitely you kind of then really start to peel away the onion layers.
Layers.
Oh, they leave him outside. It gets all stinky and brown.
Sprout.
But yeah, you start to like see like now he's freaking out. I don't really understand. We'll maybe get that in picking nits. Like why he starts really like kind of losing the shit because like then he gets hit with a thing, and then is like all the wires go crazy.
I think he's like malfunctioning.
Malfunctioning at that point.
I mean, they never say if they have like the 3 laws in this universe or not.
Sure.
I don't think they do, but maybe if they did, they malfunctioned right there. And
maybe, okay.
You know,
I think this is a good warning for our current state of affairs. AI will take your jobs away.
I agree.
But yeah, like he's going nuts. He's throwing Ripley around. Sorry.
And we don't know he's in AI until Ripley is in the mother's room, whatever, the room where you can communicate with mother, which is this cool like golden just lights around it, and it's this isolated room, and she asks mother like what's the what's going on, I need advice, and she's like I can't, and she's like what's the order 237, she's like I can't tell you, so she overrides it, and it's like order whatever 237, go down to the planet, gather the specimen, bring back all other orders rescinded, crew expendable. Yeah. So like basically like they don't give a fuck about any of them.
Right.
And she also asked like how do we exterminate alien, and it's like no comment basically.
Yeah,
it's
I don't
like,
know. Not enough information to compute or something.
They cannot compute, yeah.
And then while she's looking at that, Ash is like just sneakily like behind her. He's like, hey, what do you got there or whatever. He's like, oh shit. Like, and then like, yeah, when she's trying to get away, you start to see the milk or whatever, the white blood come from his head, and that's when you know he's an android.
Mother's like hell.
That's a telltale sign.
There it is. Like hell 9000. There it is.
Yeah, I would say with the quick ones we didn't talk about, where they go and split into pairs to look for the mini alien. At the time, they think it's small. There's Brett, Parker, and Ripley, and then it's Lambert, Dallas, and Ash. And Parker, Ripley, and Brett are looking, and they have the motion detector, and they think they find it, but it's just Jones the cat. And then they're like, oh, well, now you got to go get the cat because we're going to keep picking it up on the
Sensors,
monitor.
Yeah.
Which I actually like that they said that, because it's like, why would you fuck this cat? But actually, it does make sense because you don't want to keep picking it up on the thing.
Are we going to clip that?
What?
Said fuck this cat.
Oh,
like, you're not gonna fuck this cat. Like,
well, no, I mean like fuck the cat in the sense of like like who cares about this cat? We're trying to find this alien, but like it makes sense because if they don't find it, it'll keep picking it up on the monitor.
Over.
No, don't literally fuck the cat. I mean,
no, we're clipping that.
The fact that we have to say that is probably not that great.
I didn't even know, but like, so then Brett goes to look for it, and he goes in like the hangar room or something, and he's like dripping water on him, and he finds the cat, and then behind him was the first time we see the alien in full form, and it's massive, and the way it looks with, like you said, with the second head and the slime, and it just puts it through Brett and just fucking just takes him, and then immediately I love the next cut to Parker, and he's just like so scared, telling everybody what happened. He's like, well, whatever it was big. Holy shit. And then he's like, and then Dallas is something, he's like, this son of a bitch is huge. Like he fucking like just can't get over like, what the fuck are we dealing with kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, it starts to pick off pretty much everybody else one by one until it's just Ripley left, and then
I mean, yeah, we talked about, like, we kind of talked about, but the vent scene is intense. Dallas going down the vent with the flamethrower by himself, the alien getting him, and then...
Could we also, just to aliens, physiology, I think maybe that was the word you were looking for. This thing is nimble as shit and knows how to, get from point A to point B without creating too much noise.
To me, I think it's kind of reminiscent of like a velociraptor a little bit, of like the...
in terms of it's like
the way that like the legs are the other way, but it's kind of like a nimble kind of like, hey, I'm able to jump long distances, I'm able to like attack right away, like it's able to pounce on you, like that type of thing is like the scariness of it is like, fuck, man, and when that thing's in the room with you, it's making up ground quick.
Game over, you're done. Like, and like, well, really, unless you have like the advanced weaponry they have in Aliens, which takes place like 60 years later or whatever. Like, those people are just like normal people. They don't have all these guns. Like all they have is the flamethrower, and that'll put it at bay. but it'll only like
it won't kill it.
It'll like it'll come back for you in tenfold, like So like and even if you do manage to shoot it, it has the acidic blood and it'll fucking tear through your ship's hull and all this.
Yeah.
So it's like Ash literally says like it's the perfect organism or whatever.
Yeah, perfect killer.
Yeah. What would you kind of touched on it? The Ash trying to kill Ripley, choking her with the magazine, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't touch on it, but he's like whipping her around, and then you have the other crew members kind of discovering.
Parker comes with Lambert and saves her, and hits him in the head with like a fire extinguisher kind of looking thing, and then his whole head like pops off. And like, oh shit, he's a fucking robot or whatever. Yeah. And then they have this scene where they hook him back up to find out if there's a way to kill the xenomorph, just like dash his head or whatever.
Right. No, I think that was a very crucial part for this because.
Yes.
Without, I guess, information and then that mother communication where she overrides, like without those sequences, if they skipped over it or if they didn't include it, I would be lost. I honestly would be. So I'm glad that they provided informational basis between A and B.
Yeah, there's a quick when they're talking to him. I have a quick little thing from it. It's like basically they're saying like, what was the order? And he's like, well, you read the order. It was priority 1. You saw what it said. And he's like, so our lives don't mean anything, you son of a bitch. He's like, I repeat. All other priorities are rescinded. And he's like, how do we kill it, Ash? There's got to be a way of killing it. How? How do we? You can't.
Ash, yeah, of course.
That's bullshit. You still don't understand what you're dealing with, do you? The perfect organism. Its structural perfection is matched only by its hostility. He's like, you admire it. I admire its purity, a survivor, unclouded by conscience, remorse, or delusions of morality. And he's like, basically after that, he's like, I can't lie about your chances, but you have my sympathies. So, like, he knows, like, they're fucked. Like,
that's such a dark,
That's a nice little quote.
Oh, damn, hell of a quote.
Yeah.
And fuck him, too. Sorry. Where's the humanity in that? That's all I'd say. I know, I get that. I'd be like, hey, you know what, circuit breaker? I'm about to turn your lights off. You're about to go from 1010 to fucking nothing. You binary piece of shit. All right.
Yeah. After that
That's
scene,
how I feel, I guess.
Where's the humanity? It's a robot. It is void of humanity.
I get that, but the fact that he's programmed to basically say, hey, organic life is not a big deal.
Well,
it doesn't follow the 3 rules.
Well, he doesn't. We don't know if we have the 3 rules in this. And also, his priority. He works for the company, and then their thing is.
I understand that the company basically devalues human life too, but fuck them too.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's the idea.
Easy now.
So yeah, then it's obviously just down to Ripley, Parker, and Lambert, and they're like, all right, well, now we're gonna go to the escape pod.
Yeah, we're out of Dodge.
Parker and Lambert, while getting like coolant tanks or something for the escape pod, come across the alien. They get killed, and then Ripley finds Parker and Lambert's body actually sitting there bloodied. Now she's alone. And this is when she decides to do the self-destruct mode of the ship, which is awesome. Fucking great scene. Like the way she has to, like the mode, like you have to like put this thing in here, wind it up, push a button, do it 4 times, and then it takes like 10 minutes for
it's like an actual procedure.
Yeah, it's not like just like, oh, I just push a button.
You can't skip, press the button and be done with it.
And then she, when she's going back, she comes across the xenomorph, so she goes back to undo the self-destruct mode because it's in her way basically, and then it's too late. The ship's gonna self-destruct, and she again goes back the way she came. Luckily, does not come across it. Winds up in the escape pod, and then I don't know if you want me. Okay.
Spoilers. I mean,
goes in the escape pod, and she thinks
50 years old.
So she floats away from or whatever, drives away from the spaceship.
Yep.
The whole thing blows up, and she thinks she's good, but then while she's like calibrating something, I don't know, whatever, she realizes
her
that
coordinates. Yeah.
The xenomorph is embedded in the wires and shit. Like it looks like it's part of the ship. The hand like comes out.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh fuck, this thing is on board with me in this little ship. I'm gonna be dead." Mm-hmm. So she puts on the astronaut suit, makes a plan to lure it out, and then open the hatch, blast it out of the hatch. The thing grabs the hatch to not get blasted, but she shoots a harpoon through it, like a harpoon gun, and then it falls out the door. It tries to crawl back up the
exhaust.
but then she fires the flame and it blows it out or burns it out.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then the end of the movie is her just floating away in space with her and Jones the cat going into cryostasis.
Right.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
That was it. All right. So
Gem.
moving on to what do we got next? Quotes. Okay. What do you got? Quotes. I got 3.
I like when she's like, when they're talking, she's talking to Parker and Brett, and they're like, you get your share no matter what. And then the steaming engine's like, why don't you just fuck off?
Yeah, them just fucking ripping on her.
That was mine. I got just a simple couple of 2 here.
One, two.
Let's get the hell out of here. I agree.
Oh, Lambert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Lambert is for the audience, like the audience in the movie, like what we would be thinking and seeing. Like,
Oh hell yeah!
Fuck this! Let's
Fuck
get the
this
fuck
shit,
out
I'm
of
outta
here.
here.
So that was intentional for sure.
Other one I got is just walk in the park.
Hey, you're right.
They're simple ones. Very simple.
You already nailed it with his speech.
The perfect organ.
Yeah, you're my sympathies. Yeah.
I like Ripley's calling out Brett, and he's like, whenever he says anything, you just say right. You know that, Brett? Right. He just says right, like the whole movie. Right. And then the fucking Parker. I think we should discuss the bonus situation. I like that whole like rant he goes on with. I think that's kind of funny.
I'm tapped out of quotes.
Yeah, me too. There's not too many.
I already did most of them, honestly.
I mean, the one monologue kind of thing you did right there is like the quintessential one I remember.
Yeah, I already talked about I really like the Parker one where he's like, whatever it was big, and then he's like, that son of a bitch is huge, man. It's big. That's not really a quote heavy movie.
No, it isn't.
So since it's kind of like for the most of the movie, it's like an ensemble cast until the last
Like what, 20
quarter,
minutes?
and this is Sydney
How long is the
Sigourney
runtime on
Weaver's
this?
first movie. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Comes out with a
the
banger.
movie's about a little short of 2 hours, hour
Okay.
56.
Okay.
7.
Ooh. Technically.
I got him on
Technically.
something. Bangarang Rufio.
So I usually say outside of Ripley, because she's like, we'll say for
It's
intents and purposes, she's the main. Who's your favorite character in the movie?
Dallas. Come on.
Who do you think, or who gives the best perform? Whatever you.
I would say best. Dallas is good. Don't get me wrong. Ian Holm as the Ash as the synthetic. I think he does a very good job of that. I would have gone John Hurt as Kane, except they didn't give him enough earlier before where I'm like, I'm interested in this guy. Like, they just basically attached the facehugger and then he's nothing else. Like, I'm just like, give him a little bit more there.
I think Ash probably gives like the best performance, but if I had to pick a favorite, I'd probably go with Parker. I like Parker.
Parker's great.
You like Parker?
He adds a little comedic relief to the movie.
Yaphet Kotto, right?
And he's kind of like, I feel like that would be me on the ship, like complaining about the bonuses and being like, yeah, man, fuck this shit. I ain't working until I get my money or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's kind of funny. I like him.
I got you.
That guy, I mean, it's not really a lot.
There's not
small cast.
It's like all of what, like 10 people?
Yeah,
Not even.
I think obviously these people from other things like Tom Skerritt's in Top Gun and this. Yaphet Kotto was in the one Bond movie, Live or Let Die, I think.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. Yep.
And he's in a couple other things. Obviously, Sigourney Weaver is. Veronica Cartwright, who plays Lambert, was in Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh, great movie
Something
too.
else. Obviously, Harry Dean Stanton's in a ton of things. He's kind of like, he'd probably be like the closest thing to that guy, but he's pretty well known. So I don't.
Right? No, I don't think you could label that.
The only thing I had was more of a recasting.
Oh, sure, go for it.
I'm curious on the recast.
Yeah,
Yeah, Veronica Cartwright as
Lambert.
I think this would have worked time-wise, just age-wise, is you would have gone like young female genius, like Demi Moore, I think.
She's too young then.
But
In
79,
79?
she's got to be like 18, 19, right?
No,
maybe like 16 even or something. I don't know. I'll look it up. But go with your theory. I want to hear it.
No, I'm just saying, like, I think it could have worked as just a younger female, like, genius-type presence on the ship or something like that. Because
Yeah, she had only been like 16 when this movie was filmed.
Okay, maybe just before it then.
You know what? Close though.
She was born in 62.
Okay, I get that. The Veronica Cartwright is like the frantic like woman who's like I think the reaction is real. I get that. It is very believable. I just think I would have liked somebody a little bit more not calm, but like she's clearly like freaking out. Like when Dallas is in the bench, like it's right on top of you, get out of there.
I think
It's
again that's her job in the movie though. That's what they like. Well, originally she thought actually another fact on this. She thought she was going to be Ripley until she showed up to the fitting, and they're like, "Yeah, you're going to be Cartwright." And she's like, "Oh." So like,
was there a little bit of bad blood or not?
I think she was a little upset about it because obviously Ripley's the juicier role, but
it's also catapulted
Sigourney Weaver's career, and after this, I don't think Ron Cartwright did a lot, but. I mean, I think, again, like, I think I'm assuming this is what Ridley Scott wanted from her. Like, again, like, you're the audience basically in this movie. Your reactions are what they're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So that, maybe she turned it up intentionally. But I can see why, like, she can get annoying sometimes. Like, oh my God.
It's like, again, I understand the believability within the context of the film. I think somebody a little bit more chill until you're in the face of the alien, and then you can kind of do that. I would have appreciated that a little bit more, but that was my only like recasting or.
Yeah, I don't have any recasting because I'm not as super familiar with actors of the time then.
Sure.
So, but I think it was cast fine. I like. Cool. Also, another fact I did some research for before.
Oh no shit!
Get out of here.
This script was written in mind that all of the parts are interchangeable. Sex-wise, so they could have been men or women.
I totally see that.
So they're not, they're not like specific.
I like that.
I do like that too.
That's the strength of the script,
sure.
right? Essentially, that's the strength of the writing.
Well, it's not. I don't think it's that. I think it's just simply that like any role can be done that way. It's just you have to figure out where the plot though works with that. I think
it's
in a thriller space thing. Like anybody can do anything up there. It's because it's fictional.
I think for this movie it works well that like not having a main protagonist until the end, and because you don't know who's gonna live and survive, so it adds to the mystery, adds to the tension when you're watching. Mm-hmm. It's not like if it would have come out like 10 years later, be like, well, Sigourney Weaver's going to be the freaking person who lives, obviously.
Right. Well, then you have
this time she's a no-name, so it's like, oh shit, who the hell is Sigourney Weaver? Ripley live? Who's Ripley? Like kind of like I like that it's not relying necessarily on the star to bring the perform. I mean, it is and it isn't. Like they didn't like they were hoping that she could do that, but it wasn't like she was an established thing. Like it's like, oh well, Clint Eastwood's in this movie, he's gonna live the whole time or something.
Right. And like I said, I think that call it the not so much like the glitz and glam of a premier actor or actress makes this, I think, all the more relatable for most folks, and all the more, I think, driving in the sense that they didn't have focused around one specific person. Like you said, it was kind of a cast of, it's a large cast, and it slowly, dwindles down. But going into it, it's not like, hey there, partner, I'm John Wayne. Okay, well, we know this whole movie is going to be about you, so got it.
Yeah, got it. Right, exactly. Let's move on to, again, this would be the Neil drop or song score part of the review. There's no songs, it's just the score.
Incredibly done.
Jerry Goldsmith, this is one of my favorite scores. This is like
scary as shit.
Every time I hear it, I feel like I'm in the ship of Nostromo, and like and it's not all like dark and ominous too. Some of them are like more of like melodious and like hopeful at times, like that what. But then other times it kind of leans into the darkness more, and stuff. I just think it really works. It's like an elegant score, but with like a scary score, but with like hints of elegance in it.
I get you. I would also just mention Jerry Goldsmith did a lot of Star Trek films and TV shows and stuff,
and other movies as well.
I had to Google this real quick because I was like, Nostromo, that has to mean something, but Nostromo is an Italian word for a ship's officer, and this is a spaceship.
Yeah.
So I guess Italians are big into spaceships in the future. Incredible.
That's a spicy meatball. Anything else you guys want to mention of the score?
No, I'm good.
No, well done.
Okay. We already did cinematic shots. Does anybody have any more they forgot about they want to mention?
Nope.
Okay. Spin-off, prequel, sequel. No, I'm just going to... This is the part where like...
This is the part of the pod.
They've already done most of these, so I'm just going to mention the ones they've done.
Sure.
Maybe I'll give like a quick yay or nay if I like it or not.
Go ahead.
So obviously the prequel of I'll go chronological. Well, Alien came out first in 79. Yeah. Then 86 came out Aliens. James Cameron directed it.
James Cameron.
Arguably better, at least as good for sure. Both are fantastic.
Right.
You want to add something, Woj?
Oh,
thumbs up. Yep, thumbs up for Aliens. Fucking awesome. Then came Alien 3 in 92, directed by David Fincher. That one's not really great. We can get into more reasons why, but a lot of studio interference and things. Nowhere near the first two. Then it became Alien Resurrection 97.
Better.
I think better than Alien 3. Like, I'd rather watch it, but it's not a great movie. It looks good, but it's kind of a lot of just weird characters, and the story's not great.
The storyline sucks, but better.
Woj, thoughts?
I don't really remember that one, so
Okay.
I'm gonna just refrain from commenting.
Then obviously became the crossovers, Alien versus Predator, which we talked about. I like the first one.
Resurgence.
It's a PG-13, so the violence is toned down, but I think it's still good. It works for the kind of like this temple and shit. It's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. Then it was AVP Requiem, not as good. The way it looks is terrible. It's really dark and shit. It's hard to see, and like literally hard to see what's happening in the movie. Then came the prequels from Ridley Scott, Prometheus. I like Prometheus.
Prometheus does a good job.
It kind of answers some of the questions.
That's the prequel, isn't it?
Yeah, of Alien.
Yeah.
I don't know if it answers them completely. It's not completely an Alien prequel, but it's not. It's like a little bit of both, where it's like about the engineers. It's also kind of about the alien, but not exactly yet. It's like the thing that came before the Xenomorph almost. Then it comes Alien Covenant, which I love Alien Covenant.
This is a better one.
I think it's better for me, and I might be in the minority on that.
No,
Did
I'm with you
see
on that.
Alien Covenant?
I did not see that one.
I'm with you on that
That's
one.
more of a classic. It kind of combines the first half is more like Prometheus, and the second half is more like your traditional Alien movie. Then came Alien. The newest movie was Alien Romulus, which came out a couple years ago, which I loved. I thought it was awesome. Does a great job of blending elements of Alien and Aliens. I think it's the
Was that a TV show?
No,
I was going to get to that.
Oh, sorry. I thought Alien Romulus was the name.
No,
it's
that's the movie.
Theatrical production. Yeah.
That's probably like I would say my third favorite of the movies of the theatrically released movies.
Sure.
And then I'd probably pick Covenant and Prometheus after that, and the rest of them or whatever. And then there was after Romulus, and Romulus I should mention also takes place in between Alien and Aliens.
Right. There is that time gap.
And then there's Alien Earth, the show that just came out this year, a couple months ago.
Okay, gotcha.
And that takes place 2 years before Alien. Now, I haven't. I started watching the first episode, but I didn't continue.
Get to it.
I'm going to. I just haven't. But it seemed pretty cool so far. Then I want to also mention, lastly, really cool if you're into video games, Alien Isolation. Fantastic game, a horror-based game. PS4. I think it's like Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, maybe Xbox One. So like a console back or two. Basically, it takes place in between Alien and Aliens, and you play Ripley's daughter, Amanda Ripley.
Okay.
And you are also part of a space crew, and you were trying to figure out what happened to your mom. And you end up on this ship, and then on the ship there's an alien loose, and you start figuring out more parts about the company, which is Weyland-Yutani. They don't establish until Aliens, but anyway, and more about what happened to Ripley and the crew. And you have to. Like this, if you ever want to experience the movie Alien, that is the way to experience it.
I'm gonna have to maybe pick up this game.
And they have bonus downloadables where you can play levels from the Alien.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, cool.
Like you can do the vent scene with that. Like you're
nice.
You can do the ending with Ripley where you're running back to the escape pod.
Gotcha.
But it's really cool because you can't. Again, this game you can't kill the alien. You can only evade it. So like you have a gun and shit, it won't kill the alien. He'll come at you and he'll kill you. Then you have to start over from your checkpoint. But you have a flamethrower, you can shoot it and it'll run back into the vent. But its ass will come right back at you, and like you don't know where it is and when it's gonna get you. And like again, everything in the game is like just like the movie. All the computers, the doors, the vents.
Oh, I'm
gonna
look this up right now.
It literally it makes you love the movie Alien even more when you're playing Alien Isolation because it's just like you feel like you're in the movie. I highly recommend.
Highly recommend it. Hell yeah.
So yeah, if you guys have any ideas for any other
I'm
prequels,
buying
sequels, or spin-offs or whatever,
I think it's been done. That's the problem. Like
that's the thing. So it's kind of like
Okay, I came up with one. It's kind of just like a blip of an idea. The company. What was the name of the company?
Weyland-Yutani.
Weyland-Yutani.
Which I wanted to mention really quick. Weyland-Yutani and the term xenomorph aren't established until the movie Aliens. So I'm using it for this movie review, but in this movie they only call it the company and the alien.
Right.
But just to be on the same page with everyone.
That's what it is. Yeah. The company has a universal scandal in some way, resulting in trillion-dollar losses. They have to then come up with some sort of like venture to be getting that money back, like a profitable venture. I don't know how that is. I know they're like transporting like ore or something like that.
Yeah, I forget.
Like in the
Some
thing,
shit,
but
yeah.
something like a little cooler of like, hey, we have to find this fucking whatever, and then maybe like the alien is there or something like that, follows them, some type of shit like that. It's a blip of an idea, but just something I don't think has been done in the sequels. So
Yeah,
far,
that's cool. No, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and as far as like ones like I would recommend Aliens, Alien Romulus, Alien Covenant, and Prometheus, and the rest are kind of. I haven't seen the show, but
I have a weird call it a twist. So you have James Cameron who did Aliens, right?
Yeah.
And you have Avatar, which is an alien world in a
Sure.
sense. I would like to think that Avatar is in the same realm of Aliens, in that these xenomorph, maybe tried to occupy the Avatar lands at some point, but I think their technology and their touch with with their own world didn't allow them for any infestation. So I think maybe a crossover where it's like they tried to pull some shit, but they're like, not in our space. That'd be just because I think not so much the advanced technology, but they're like this parasitic thing could not invade their world because they're all connected to a universal source.
Nice.
So just a weird little twist.
For a crossover, I had an idea.
Go ahead.
I just want to mention too, the crossover word to me was also inspired a lot from Predator 2, which the ship has an alien skull in it. That's kind of
yes.
that's
you
like,
could definitely
like
roll
these
in Predator,
movies exist in the same
Universe,
world or whatever.
Isn't Predator part of their like way of ranking up? Is you have to fight.
The new Predator movie that's coming out has a Weyland-Yutani synthetic in it.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool. But as far as my Switcheroo crossover, Aliens versus but like like the Terminator, but like more of like, let's say someone with the Terminator winds up on LV-426, which is the planet that Aliens takes place, and some of the fucking aliens are still maybe it's before Aliens takes place or something. Or I don't know, actually it's true, it's in the future. I don't know, whatever. Maybe we wind up somewhere there, and like this Terminator has to protect a person from the aliens.
So
on the
it's
planet.
Like that's his asset. That
yeah,
maybe
like he's protecting someone. I don't know.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. I could dig on that.
Like the alien would be the good guy in this situation, and the aliens would be the hunting them or whatever. Or, they're on their home turf, so they're trying to get away or survive. Kind of like Aliens, but instead throw a little Terminator in the wrinkle there.
I like that. I like that twist.
And James Cameron did both, so
that's why I was on the James Cameron thing. That makes sense.
Any other things, Woj, you got?
Crossover, Switcheroo?
Yes, sir.
I would say the thing is pretty easy to have that jump
Absolutely.
in there. I like a little thing, not really to be a big plot point or like deal into it, but like I think it would have been very easy to have like as you show the crew lounging around or something like that, just like shooting the shit. One of the guys playing like a Tron-esque type of game or something like that.
Yeah.
Like they could just put a little bit of that stuff into
like an
it.
Atari thing or something.
Just like a shout out type of deal of like, hey, look at this thing. Fucking tight ends fucking up the yin right now.
I know. Lamar, why don't you just walk one in? I know, but why don't you just come walk one in?
I'll take them however they come. I'm not going to be picky.
Yeah. Just a quick Tron in. I'm good on that.
All right. Let's move on to picking Nits.
Let's do it.
I have one specific one. Mm-hmm. This is the only one that's literally bothered me in this movie. I think everything else is pretty good and explainable. Maybe a couple technical things, but I think makes sense. This one had never made sense to me. The xenomorph hiding in the escape pod, it doesn't sit well with me. Why? I know the xenomorph's smart, but how does it know to hide in the escape pod that the ship's going to blow up and even say, let's say even it is smart enough to do that, it does that. Once Ripley, makes its arm pop out and it realizes that Ripley realizes it's there, why does it wait to attack her so long? Like, wouldn't it just kill her right away? Like,
it should know it's got the advantage.
Like throughout the whole movie, it's been picking people off, and it's not like
I got a comment for that.
I like the ending of Ripley surviving, but I can almost see the ending working out better. That like Ripley thinks she's safe, and then the alien's just behind her and fucking kills her in the escape pod, and then
roll credits.
Yeah,
I have an idea on why that is. Call it its own survival. The fact is, could it kill Ripley on the spot? Sure. However, knowing that Ripley is going back to, like, I guess knowing the sense that this pod itself, if you kill her and destroy the pod, you're dead too. So it's more of like, hey, I'm going to bide my time. If she ends up at some other place, now I could get myself out of Dodge, and now I'm out.
See, I see how that makes sense, but my thing is, how does the alien? How do we know he knows that he's not?
You don't have any information about this being like sentient and like knowing
he
its
understands.
existence.
Yeah.
Usually,
sorry, I guess
animals,
that's an assumed assumption
yeah,
of mine.
I mean, usually like animals or whatever that are bred in like thousands of batches and stuff like that,
they aren't
going to have that IQ
effect,
to say, I know where I'm at and what I
know the
self-preservation
repercussions
and
of
stuff.
my actions.
Yeah, like
I agree that it's like it should be in a kill mode. I'm going to kill everybody and then figure out what to do.
Like the fact that it's even smart enough to figure that out, and then, okay, if you could ignore that, but then once its arm comes out and it realizes that Ripley knows, it should be like coming out of there and attacking her like right away, I feel
right,
like.
you've lost the element of surprise. Yeah.
I would just say the space age technology, like some of it looks good, some of it looks like absolute dog shit. Like I get for 79, but even then I was like, it just has like shit pop across the screen or whatever, and then in other times as like there's like some sort of scanning mechanism, it just is fucking doing random numbers, and I'm like, you couldn't have fucking put like it's zooming in or zooming out, like it just like was always all over the place.
I think it's more of the time that was the technology, like this is before the internet, this is like before even like the Apple computer, I think, was out, like, or mass produced around that time.
I think
maybe
having lights show up on a thing, I think, could have been done.
Like,
I don't think.
I also like, while obviously now we know that technology is ancient, I think it adds to the nostalgia of the movie for me, and also, I think for it being like a trucking, they're like truckers in space. Maybe they don't have the best equipment. So maybe they have some old shit that they've been using.
That actually segues right into my next one.
Yeah.
Even for a high tech like $1 trillion firm and in space age and in the future, seems like you would need way more than 7 people to run a 20 million. They said something crazy like 20 million tons of ore or something like that. Yeah. I would just think you need like at least a crew of like 20 to do all the different comms and all.
Yeah, I know that from watching like Prometheus and stuff. Like, and we kind of saw they have like machines in the bay that they use, like those big giant lifts or whatever and stuff. So, but you would think, maybe a couple more people. Mm-hmm. I think that choice is more about like the movie style. Like it's an isolated horror movie. They're gonna just pick off. If you have too many people, then maybe it takes away from that. But I see what you're saying. Like practically, maybe it doesn't make as much sense for the jobs they're doing. Right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Are all astronauts just like cool with aliens? Because like I see a fucking million eggs, I'm like, fuck that, dude. I'm out.
Hell no.
I think
to the
fuck
no,
that.
Yeah.
I'm the
hey, we're gonna bring one back. Fuck that.
I think that's
he's dead.
Sorry,
Kane.
Yeah.
Kane, you're dead.
I would guess that it's more. It happens more often than obviously today, which is not at all that we know of. But also that, like, I think particularly it's probably the character of Kane. He's this, like, adventurous guy who's like, oh, well, I'm going to check it out. And, like, he was the one who wanted to go down there. And remember when they were asking Woj, like, oh, who wants to come check it out? He's like, well, I'll go. I'll be the first one to volunteer or whatever. And he's like, well, that doesn't surprise me.
Okay.
Like, so I think it more goes to, like, if it was Lambert, she would not have done that shit. I don't think if she was down there. But since it's Kane... But I would say to maybe just kind of piggyback off your picking it, they're so cool and casual. Once they bring him back to the med bay, they're around like either in the room with Kane or with the facehugger, and they're not wearing masks all the time and shit. And it's like, yo, fuck that shit. I'd be wearing a helmet, gloves, everything.
I'd be the fuck out of
there. I'd get a wrench.
Right.
I would get a weapon. At
one point, Ash is like, you could take your mask off. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm not taking it off. What are you, nuts?
Are you nuts?
You fuck, you're nuts, Junior.
I got the... I don't really understand this. Why is it raining inside of the spaceship?
That was always a question of mine too. I think it's something with like condensation or something. Like didn't
it get triggered? Like all the flamethrowers trigger the sprinklers?
No, that's when Brett's looking for Jones the cat. He's in like that hangar thing, and like the water is just dripping on him. I always question that too. I always just thought maybe like they had like those ships or something or whatever out in space, and since it's so cold in space that they were like melting. The water condensating.
I can see that though. If
something.
you had like ice crystals and now the bay's closed,
But
now it's
other than
slowly
that,
bringing it up.
That
to
is
temp.
it is weird because like they're in a ship. It's not like there's weather or something. Like why does that happen?
Yeah,
I think it was again probably more because it looked cool, and they were like, well, we'll just
Probably,
whatever. It's we'll figure it out an explanation later or something. I don't know. That's a good call though.
I like that though. The idea though, is space is freezing. So if you had like something brought into the bay, there might be. I don't know.
I assume that's got to be part of it, but I don't know 100%.
You're
But
right.
That's
Fair
always
enough.
that was always my.
Or could the alien have gone through some of the water pipes? I mean, it's not like you have a system that has no water in.
It's just
like,
it's again to
pneumatics.
me it's just in the middle of a fucking
Right. I
open
get it.
area
You're right.
that
and,
you're
and it's
kinda
only
like-
and it's only that room. So
You're right.
I
That's
always
fair.
felt like it had to do something to do with the equipment or the ships in there or whatever it is. Maybe they got let out in space and they were like I don't know, but I could be completely wrong. I have no idea.
It's fine. I can't believe. I mean, it's
not butter.
It's 79, man, but that shot of the alien getting Dallas is fucking horrendous. It's
Yes.
a completely different alien. It looks like a guy
was
in
a
a
little rough.
costume,
Yeah.
and he's just doing this. And then that cuts off. I was like, you got to do better, man. Like, of how good the film looks other than that one shot was like,
I see what you're saying. I don't mind
I
it.
agree. No, I
so
agree.
bad.
Like I said, just it didn't check
it's
for
really,
me
it's always
either.
in comparison. It's
Jazz
like,
hand.
the rest of the movie looks phenomenal, and that one shot was like, again, it doesn't look well lit. It looks, just a bad shot.
Well, if you notice too, Ridley Scott does a great job the whole movie of not showing the alien in its full frame.
Yeah.
Just pieces or parts, so
Yep.
you always don't know
I agree.
the size and scale of it, where it's at, except for mine would be at the end when it's outside of the exhaust and it's climbing back in. That looks like shitty to me, kind of, where it's like hanging outside the thing. That to me doesn't look great. The rest of it, I don't mind. I can see what you're saying, though, about that part with the whole hands thing. It's kind of like, what the fuck? But for 79,
All right.
you know.
My last one here. Yeah, let's turn away slowly from the fucking alien.
Ripley at the end.
At the end, it's like, what are you doing? It's an alien gonna kill you.
I assume she was trying to do that to lure it in, to like think that to make it think that she was not
aware
paying
of it.
attention,
Right.
So that way she could hit the hatch button. So otherwise, maybe it wasn't going to leave the wires or whatever.
I don't know, man. It just was like,
I kind of like that. I like that idea or concept that. I get where you're coming from, but I
Yeah.
like the idea of, hey, the best thing you could do is, you have the element of surprise, and if you need to not fuck up, just turn casually and, do what you need to do.
Yeah, I see what you're saying though. I think I had one more. Let me see.
I'm good with.
Oh, yeah, my thing was, again, I'll go back to it. Forget the stupid cat. At the end of the movie, when you're trying to leave and get in the escape pod, fuck the cat, man. Trying to carry this box.
Deuce.
Fuck the cat, man.
Trace.
fuck the cat over,
Yeah.
not fuck
Like,
the cat.
You're bringing
Leave mittens on the fucking
You're
ship.
bringing
You
a-
could just say that.
You're bringing
Kitten mitt.
a crate with a. I mean, I know you're like the last one, so you're like, well, I need like companionship, maybe. But now's not the time.
Companionship.
Now is not the time. Get the hell out of there.
It's gonna be pressing all the buttons, and you're gonna have to be like, no.
Like, let me drag. I know. I know there's a giant alien walking around the ship, and I have no idea where it is. And I'm carrying this huge flamethrower already. But maybe I'll also drag this cat box with me as well.
Kittens.
Like sometimes pets in movies, people care just way too much about them. I know I'm not like a pet person, so that's probably bleeding into my
That
thoughts.
kind of hurts, man. A little
But
bit.
like,
It's
what
alright.
there's a time and place, and when there's a xenomorph about to kill you,
Yeah,
that is not the time and place. I'm sorry,
let it go.
especially if it's not your cat. It's like the ship's cat. It's not even your cat.
It's not even.
It's got to be your cat.
That's it. I'm good on picking this.
I'm good on picking this too.
Same.
Let's wrap it up.
Wrap it up,
On
bro.
stream skip grades. Start with Woj.
Yeah, this is an own. Despite I don't own it. You should own it just because again it is such a great movie that starts a great franchise. I in the last couple maybe like 20 episodes ago I had mentioned that the reason that I don't own a lot of these films is that at a certain point I just kind of stopped going after physical media. So again, I would own this though if you were like, oh, should I get this or not? Like Alien And like I said, we went through the whole list. The first couple, I think, are worthy of an own. My rating would probably be a 9 flat. I think there's better Alien movies out there, but there's also worse. So it kind of falls it would probably be a middle range for my Alien movie ratings.
Like Aliens in general, or the franchise of Aliens?
The franchise of Aliens.
Okay.
I think there's some that are better than that, and I think there are some that are worse than that.
Yeah, to go on with what he said, this is definitely an own. I'm not sure because I have a bunch of DVDs at my mom's house wrapped up in one of those zip cases. Remember where you used to, because I got rid of my physical cases because it just took up way too much space at some point. I probably guarantee I have that over there, but own it. I give this one a 9-1. I'm really close with Woj in that this was the foundation for Aliens. Has there been in the sequence like Prometheus and some of the other ones that probably hit, I guess, a little higher on different types of effects and stuff like that, understandably so. Like we're talking apples to oranges in terms of 79 and something like 2022 or something like that. So incredible movie. I really think that this sets off a different type of genre in general, like because you have that sci-fi like horror. I'm not sure if. Like, could you think of anything prior to this? I really don't have one. You could maybe say like Space Odyssey, but that doesn't have the same type of feel.
It's a little different.
It's different.
Yeah.
So, like I said, very happy about it.
Nice. What was your grade? I'm sorry. What was it?
9-1.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I didn't hear it. My bad.
No, good.
I just want to mention real quick that there's a couple deleted scenes in the movie that are cool. There's one of the alien hanging the chains before it gets Brett.
Yep.
And just silence, and you have to like really notice it. It's not like obvious. And then one that got deleted that I guess thankfully did because it wouldn't make sense for aliens is Ripley finds Dallas cocooned. Where we find out that the alien where he took Brett and where he took Dallas, and
okay.
It's turning them into eggs.
Gotcha.
So Dallas is like, kill me,
right?
And he's like but for the life cycle, for what James Cameron came up with in Aliens, it wouldn't make sense. Like in Aliens, there's a queen alien who lays the eggs. Then when you get people, you put the people in front of the egg. The face hugger goes on them. Then they get more aliens, and that's how that works. But in this movie, that wasn't conceived yet, so some things, change. Like I said, the company is Weyland-Yutani eventually, and there's other things that get more detailed as we go on in the series or whatever. So yeah, for me, it's definitely an own. I think all the Alien movies, except for the newest one I want to own. I have to buy it, Romulus. It's definitely awesome.
It's on your hit list.
Yeah, dude, I've been asking for Christmas for like 2 years and still haven't gotten it, so maybe I'll just go out and buy it myself finally.
Maybe.
But I do have the Alien Quadrilogy, the original one on DVD, which I popped in last night. And I would give it for a grade. Yeah, actually, that's funny too. I watched a couple of reviews to figure out what grade I wanted to give it. Because I gave The Thing a 9.3, and I feel like this is very close to that. And I gave T2 a 9.5. So I'm going to go 9.3. I'm going to give it the same as The Thing.
Okay.
I think maybe I might like The Thing a little more, but not a lot. So but I'm going to go with the same 9.3. Definitely check it out. And then down the road, I'm definitely going to do Aliens at some point. So look out for that. And if you like this and Aliens, maybe check out the rest of the movies and the TV show that's out.
I want to get this isolation game now.
And play the game. The game's awesome.
I'm literally going to buy that the moment
probably
I
get
get
it for
home.
like $6 or something.
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait.
So,
All right. That's
who's
Alien.
up next? That's
Barbarino.
I'm up next, and I know we're done with our Halloween and
Spooky
spooky. I
season.
know this is sci-fi, but I'm going a different direction. It's a Steve Carell movie, but not the one you'd be thinking of. I'm going with Beautiful Boy.
I love that movie.
Beautiful boy. Never seen it.
So it's a different. He does a different character in this, and I really think it's going to be a powerful statement of Steve Carell and his acting abilities and the whole sequence of this movie.
I think that movie's only on Prime, though.
I have not seen this movie. It might be only available on Prime, but
check it out.
I've heard great reviews, and I want to
Beautiful
do
boy.
I might
coming up
need
next.
some help watching this.
All
we'll get
good.
this sorted. Yeah.
Beautiful boy coming up next. End of the spooky season. That was good stuff. Right in time for Halloween is tomorrow.
That's gonna suck ass.
Let's
like
fucking
Halloween.
chop it up.
Jackass.
Come back next week. Then we're into fucking like Thanksgiving. Some Christmas stuff is gonna be wild.
Yeah, we got a nice couple, 7-8 weeks.
More football. All right. Journeymen Lounge podcast will ride again.
Deuces.
Episode 109.
Bye.
Done.